everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today, and welcome to Bethesda Game Studios. You know, we've been so lucky over the decades to make the kind of games that we love here, and that's thanks to all of you, from the Elder Scrolls to Fallout. We love creating these worlds and playing in them just as much as you do. And throughout all that time, we'd often talk about and dream up the space game.
And really, like, these two games that he's just mentioned, I mean, Skyrim and Fallout, they honestly have to be some of the best games that I have been into. I mean, the storyline and, you know, the open world of Skyrim, and same thing with Fallout. I mean, absolutely amazing.
What if we could take that feeling of being who you want to be and exploring a new world, but set it in space, where you weren't really limited in where you could go or what you could do? And that is Starfield. Obviously, we've come a long way since then with the games we've built, our technology, and all of us here in the studio. We've done so much together, but, well, we've never tried to make a game like this. Today, you'll get to hear from many on the team and see so much of what we think makes our game special. So let's jump in and take a look. Starfield is our first new universe in over 25 years, but it's still a Bethesda RPG through and through, where you step into a new world and you get that feeling of unlimited possibility.
And I mean, you know, if looking at this, if your gameplay is going to look at this, like if this is your HUD right now, you know, your health bar, your, I'm going to say compass in the left-hand side. I mean, this is going to be absolutely amazing.
Abilities. But this time, it's not just one world. It's over 1,000 worlds. Because the choice of where to go, it's not ours, it's yours.
So my curiosity was, and I mean, your main guy is wearing the spacesuit, right? You know, if it's over 1,000 worlds, I imagine a lot of these planets obviously have different atmospheres. So how many of these different planets are going to have atmospheres where you don't have to wear your spacesuit? You know, you have the option to, you know, I'm going to say drip out your character for some different planets. Like if you're going to, you know, like a tropical planet, like the one we had just seen where you see the palm trees. I mean, palm trees are kind of, you know, we see them on Earth. So why can't we breathe the atmosphere? Do we have to be wearing the spacesuit throughout the whole adventure? Or can we, you know, drip ourselves out?
And it wasn't until now that we had the technology to create it.
See, and they're saying until now, when we had the technology to create it, which I'm kind of curious about, is isn't it still running on an engine that is like 20 years old or 10 years old? I mean, I understand that, like the graphics and everything that we have now, the processing is a whole lot better where you get the detail that we're going to get. But what is the technology that he mentions that is making this game possible now?
From the rocks at your feet to the mountains in the distance, to the people and creatures that live in these worlds. That isn't just a backdrop. That moon is actually there orbiting the planet. Yes, you can visit it too. We realistically simulate the galaxy around you. Our next-generation lighting model uses real-time global illumination to light the world based on the type of star and the makeup of the planet's atmosphere. We also have an all-new animation system. And of course, you can play it in third person, and you can play it in first person.
See, and I like this being able to switch between that first person and third person. I mean, some of the things that you're looking at, you want to get up a little closer to it to see the details on it. You can switch to that first person, or if you just want to see your character running around, if you're trying to shoot enemies around a corner, you can switch to that third person, to kind of be able to pan and tilt your camera to kind of see around the corner where an enemy or some type of creature is, say, around a rock or whatever, right? So I think that's really going to be handy, is to be able to switch through that. I mean, I wonder even now if I can just set it up to a hotkey on my Stream Deck. I will look into it.
We love exploration and rewarding.
So this is, I'm going to say, the HUD, or maybe like an off menu of a HUD. So we got scan, outpost, surface map, photo mode. So obviously they're playing on a controller, as I do believe R, S, X, and A is Xbox controller. So survey. So we're basically in like a survey screen. Health, weapon, ammo. I'm gonna guess this down in the left hand corner is your weapon ammo. Over in the left, so it shows you temperature, gravity. So your gravity, it's showing your gravity at 0.52. So I wonder what that variable is out of.
But you do explore differently in this game given its scale. That usually involves exploring an area you've landed in. You can collect resources.
All right, so yeah, it's the bottom right is definitely that ammo of the laser. So you're definitely going to have to get ammo somehow to be able to do this mining in the area.
Do a mission and maybe
it
stumble
recharges
upon something unexpected.
Otherwise, they've got a really good cheat code or god mode for it. And the weapon ammo, I mean, whatever this is that they got, some type of auto rifle or pulse rifle here. 322 is a full magazine. That's nuts! Okay, so your reserve is that 322. Oh, and then we got grenades, 5 grenades.
We do love stuff and all of the items allowing you to pick everything up, and you can view all that in your data menu. This is the hub.
That is cool. Howard, eh? Level 11 health. Frontier, Hall, Mass. Nice.
Hub for everything you're doing, from your skills to your ship, your missions, and your inventory.
So I'm taking this up in the top left corner is like your current location.
We love to pack a ton of detail in every object, from all of your weapons to spacesuits.
And that one, that was a bit too far. No, that's too far. Let me see
your weapons to space.
Yeah. Right about there-ish. Let's play ahead just a little
bit. This is the hub for everything you're doing, from your skills to your ship, your missions, and your inventory. We love.
So the cutter was the weapon that he was using to mine that rock. Advanced Grendel. Masher. Okay. So the ones that he has equipped are the ones with the hearts beside them. Advanced Grendel. Rounds. So it's 303 rounds. The 50 round magazine. Fire rate.
To pack a ton of.
Oh, it's so quick.
detail in every object, from all of your weapons to spacesuits to food. We just obsess over the details, and food. We obsess over food.
I obsess over
When you're
food,
done
too.
exploring,
That's kinda why
you can walk back or fast travel to your ship. We have companions and crew you can take with you. I left Vasco here back at my ship,
Welcome back, Captain Howard.
and he can even say your name. Let's head out.
Our mission was to convey the wonder and majesty.
So the one that I, like you said, like your little space robot buddy there, he can say your name. Well, one thing I don't like about a lot of things that you're putting your name into is it'll just allow you to put in letters. It won't say you won't get numbers. I wonder if like you can basically put in, you know, Starset 7, if he can actually do that, or it would have to be like just the letters Starset 7. Kind of curious.
Of space exploration to evoke the romance of the golden age of early spaceflight. And we've been referring to this approach as NASA Punk. This means a design language where the tech is advanced, yet still looks grounded and relatable.
For us, it's that contrast. That's where the visual interest is. Obviously, the NASA, which is the rigid, hard function over style, and then Punk, which is all about style.
You can see that visual style coming through in your ship. Your ship is your home for you and your crew. And like many of the spaces in our game, it has a slightly retro and analog touch, a bit of lo-fi rather than sci-fi, where everything is well used, worn, and lived in.
Alrighty.
And it really adds that I want to say that spin of humanity, you know, finally being able to get out into the galaxy, like you're just getting that technology to explore. It still has that Apollo mission-esque, if you will, or space station, like new age space station-esque look or vibe to it.
What's the plan,
Aesthetically.
Captain?
This is your star map. It starts with the planet you're currently on. You can see all of its info
And this is huge, where, you know, like you're taking a look at a planet and it is telling you exactly what is on that planet. So type is a rock planet, gravity is 0.52 gravity, temperature is cold. I mean, that's cold for some people. I'm Canadian, so, you know, like, yeah, I think it was saying like 11 degrees Celsius or something. So I mean, that's not too cold. Atmosphere is thin, CO2. The magnetic sphere is weak, so the fauna is marginal, so you got very little fauna, flora, and water is radioactive. So I mean, surveying some of these things, I'm not too sure if radioactive water can benefit you in any way, shape, or form, or maybe you can extract the radioactivity out of the water in some situations. You never know. I mean, for this type of game, the imagination is probably where it'll take you.
resources. You can choose a landing spot or fast travel to known locations. Backing out further, you can view all the planets in the system. Obviously, the game is big, and it's here you can see planets that have key locations, missions, or life on them, versus the many planets that are barren but resource-heavy. Zoom out even further to see all the systems in this part of the galaxy. Here, you can plot a course to ones that are light years away. This uses your ship's grav drive to fold space and jump to these systems, and you will need to upgrade your ship and
So the grav drive that he's saying is kind of like doing that one-dimensional drive instead of taking, you know, the distance from point A to point B and having to go that way. It literally just folds point A to point B and brings you there almost instantaneously, I'm going to say.
skills if you want to jump to the most distant ones. But for now, we'll plot a course to the Alpha Centauri system where we can find the city of New Atlantis.
if this is gonna be cool, if I can get in my spaceship and flick buttons and stuff, I'm gonna be sitting there just flicking buttons and stuff.
Welcome
What
to
does this
UC
do?
Space. Maintain your current course while we scan your ship's cargo. Scan complete. You are cleared for landing at New Atlantis.
So having this, whether scanning you coming into some of these civilized systems, and then having passed, can you like smuggle stuff into these systems?
As soon as you land in a city like New Atlantis, your eyes are guided upwards to just these boundless, vast buildings.
It's the biggest city we've ever made, not just in size, but also in the amount of custom art, crowds, and quests.
So the main focus when we're designing a city is obviously what supports the story. We try and tell as many small stories as possible.
This is a Colony War memorial.
It's a few moments of gameplay that make the space feel like it's full of real characters that are going about their day-to-day lives.
It's paralyzing if you really stop and think about it.
Buddy, it's coffee.
It's also where your adventure with Constellation begins. Welcome to Constellation. We have a lot to talk about.
By the time you meet them, Constellation is sort of seen as...
I mean, like, this character saying, oh, we got a lot to talk about. The tutorials in this have to be absolutely astronomical. Like, learning how to do every little thing, the tutorials behind them is going to be huge. I mean, I imagine you can skip a tutorial and just go at it and figure it out yourself. But still, huge tutorials. Years worth of work on tutorials.
as this mythical group. Most people don't even know they exist anymore. They're the last true explorers in the galaxy, and they're trying to find the answers to some of humanity's biggest questions.
The artifacts are so different, so alien, and I'm certain one of them reached out and spoke to you. The artifact, if you could place it on the table here.
Oh my god, look at how it's coming together.
That means there's a set built by an intelligence outside the settled systems.
It's definitely an eclectic cast of characters. You've got Sarah Morgan, the ex-soldier and adventurer, now Constellation's leader. Mateo, the theologian who believes that there's definitely something else out there. Noel, the gifted scientist and Sarah Morgan's protege. And Walter, a very successful businessman in the settled systems and Constellation's financier.
Anything goes as long as you have the money.
There's also Vlad, the ex-pirate, Sam Coe, the former space cowboy, and Barrett.
You know what I hate about these pirates? Completely resistant to my otherwise irresistible charm.
The journey you take with Constellation is just the first of many you'll embark on. The Settled Systems is home to all kinds of different stories, people, and adventures for you to uncover.
The United Colonies is where you'll find New Atlantis, the first major human settlement in space. The people who live here value law, discipline, and the legacy of humanity. They consider themselves the true children of Earth.
You ever think of joining up with the Vanguard? Help the United Colonies, even get your UC citizenship?
New Atlantis isn't the only city within the United Colonies.
So I'm seeing that, and more than likely that's part of like a quest is becoming like a UC citizen and taking that pathway until it ends. So point that out.
The city of Sidonia on Mars to this day serves as the largest mining facility for the United Colonies. Beyond the United Colony's reach, you might find yourself in a much more wild and independent coalition of star systems. This is Freestar Collective Space. The capital of the Freestar Collective is Aquila City.
The Stone Root Inn is an Aquila City fixture.
A ranger relies on judgment and intuition to do what's best for the people.
Neon started out as a fishing platform, but is now known throughout the settled systems as a pleasure city, where almost anything goes.
If you've got morality issues, this definitely isn't the job for you.
Ryujin is hiring the best and brightest of today for our future tomorrow.
Everyone has been chewed up and ground up by Neon.
Try not to get yourself killed, all right?
Outside the bounds of civilized space, there are still plenty of unclaimed systems to explore, but these areas are also home to the most hostile factions in the galaxy.
The great serpent hungers. All heathens shall be made dust in time.
A new face. This is the face of a brave runner here to challenge the Red Mile.
They think the galaxy is theirs. They are wrong. It belongs to the Crimson Fleet. It always has.
In Starfield, we're pushing our cities and settlements further than we ever have before. It's all there, waiting for you. A slice of humanity's future.
So, ready to get out there?
Throughout the galaxy, there are so many things to see and stories to experience. But the most important story is the one that you tell. I'm the type of person who spends hours in character creation, and I think people are going to be really excited when...
He's the type of person who spends hours in character creation. So, how many hours am I going to spend in character creation? Because these guys have really expanded on how much you can customize that character. Everything. I mean, you know, like in World of Warcraft, you're customizing a character. You got so much to choose from. And in here, you got so much more to choose from. So, hours? Oh, hell yes. Hours is going to be, putting it lightly, I'm probably going to spend many hours of my life. Many.
When they see all of the improvements we've made.
One of the biggest overhauls was done through our character generation system. We scanned a wide range of faces from different age groups and ethnicities, and by mixing and matching all that data, we were able to create highly detailed and diverse characters.
We use that exact system to create all of the characters and NPCs you're going to see in the game. So any character you see almost always is a character you could make yourself.
Snap out of it! You see, and I would have, for a game like this, I mean, I know it probably would have had to use some type of AI, but to be able to even scan your own face and kind of change it would have been actually a cool feature.
Hey, come on. Okay, take it easy. You were out cold. No physical damage. Mentally, the jury's still out. You know who you are? New recruit for Argos Extractors? Ring any bells? Any of this look familiar?
Take a look? Yes, I will. Biometric ID, body, face, background, traits. So I do know you can pick 3 traits, which is going to be interesting.
You start your character creation journey as though you're cycling through employee records. You'll pick from a lineup of 40 presets, and that'll be your starting point. Your journey from there can be as detailed or as quick as you want it to be. This new system has more to offer than ever before.
It's also the simplest character generation system we ever had. We let the player get as close as possible to make whatever they want. With the various facial morphs you can blend together, the dermesthetic and makeup, blemishes, scars, piercings, teeth settings, it's a lot. But I think it's the most fun to use.
Character creation is more than just how you look. This is also where you start to decide who you want to be. That's where backgrounds come in.
Diplomat? So starting skills, persuasion, commerce, and wellness. Okay. And then we've got beast hunter, bouncer, bounty hunter, chef. You can be a chef, combat medic, cyber runner, cyberneticist, diplomat, explorer, gangster. Going for the gangster, that might be one of my go-tos. Homesteader, industrialist, long hauler, a long haul gangster, pilgrim, professor, Ronin.
Backgrounds give you a bit of backstory and start you out with 3 basic skills.
From chef to dusty. You know, the crew still has a betting pool about which restaurant critic you must have crossed to wind up here.
What's great about backgrounds is you never know when yours is going to come in handy. You could be in the middle of a fancy restaurant talking to some guy, and suddenly you learn he needs a beast hunter to help track down a monster.
Fine. I probably should stick to professionals anyway, given what happened the last time.
We're also giving you the option to customize your build even further by letting you pick up to 3 traits. Traits are completely optional, and they come with their own.
So you're picking 3 traits, all right. So alien DNA, dream home, empath, extrovert, 3-star collectors, collective settler, hero worshipped, introvert, kid stuff, neon street rat, could be interesting, raised enlightened, raised universal, serpent's embrace, spaced, taskmaster, terra firma, united colonies native, and you can pick 3 of these. Alien DNA, neo street rat, raised enlightened. Could be
own advantages.
What is yours going to be? I mean, if you're taking a look at this screen, drop down in the comments. I mean, throw it in there. What are your guys is going to be in dream home, empath, alien DNA, empath, extrovert? You know, I imagine the way you mix things is the way, you know, different paths you're going to take or different options you're going to have.
And disadvantages. You could choose to meet your biggest fan.
By Vectera, by Vectera, by Vectera! Is it really, really you?
He'll join your crew and he'll give you gifts if you're willing to put up with his constant commentary.
I can't believe I get to stand near you, breathing the same air.
I've got to have every molecule.
My favorite trait is kid stuff. You have to pay some credits to support your parents, but they're very sweet and it's really fun to go visit them.
Honey, we got ourselves a visitor.
Oh my god!
I came across some hostile zealots in space, but because I had chosen a trait that made me the same religion as them, I was able to get by without any issues.
There's another great one that gives you a damage buff when your health is low, but mercenaries will randomly show up and try to kill you. No matter what you choose, there will be plenty of ways for you to tell your story. And if you want to remove a trait, there are ways to do that too.
What a view! It's a feast!
So imagine if you're removing a trait, changing it out, it's probably going to cost you something. Money, in-game money, or something to that effect.
For the eyes, off we go to another adventure!
We'll let you discover that on your own.
Once you've built the perfect character, that's when your journey can really begin. We took what we loved about skills and perks from our previous games and put them together to create an all-new skill system. Each time you level up...
Land squid? Hell yeah. Land squid.
You get a skill point.
Octopus. Land octopus.
Which can be used to unlock or rank up skills.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. What was that? What was
New skill system. Each time you level up, you get a skill point, which can be...
Skill point? Okay.
Used to unlock or rank up skills.
Ah, so here we go. We've got the skill point tree. So I imagine the traits that you pick are going to dictate what is on your tree.
Skills. Ranks are unlocked by completing challenges associated with that skill. Challenges become increasingly difficult as you work your way to higher ranks. With our 5 different skill trees and 4 ranks per skill, there's a lot.
And if you noticed when he was ranking that up,
there's a lot to choose from.
I like the Xenosociology skill because it lets you
are unlocked by completing challenges associated.
So these ranks, so like security, your rank 1, you can attempt to hack advanced locks, and 2 auto attempts can be banked. Then rank 2, you can attempt to hack expert locks, and 3 auto attempts can be banked. Rings now turn blue when the pick can be slotted. So I guess when you're picking the lock, you can tell when you're like almost there, as the ring will turn blue. You can attempt to hack master level locks, and 4 auto attempts can be banked. And then rank 4, expend a digipick. Sorry, I'm going to say digipick to eliminate keys that aren't required to solve the puzzle. 5 auto attempts can be banked.
With that skill.
So that was that digipick.
Challenges become increasing.
And even this one in intimidation. So you can force a target NPC at or below level to flee for a limited amount of time. You can force a target NPC up to level 10 or higher than you to flee for a limited amount of time. You can force a target NPC up to level 20 or higher, or 20 levels higher than you to flee for a limited amount of time. And then rank 4, intimidated targets now flee for a substantial amount of time. So that could come in handy.
Difficult as you work your way to higher ranks. With our 5 different skill trees and 4 ranks per skill, there's a lot to choose from.
I like the Xenosociology skill because it lets you mind control aliens.
Boost pack out of the gate. I'm boost packing everywhere.
Yeah, that's something that I'm looking forward to as well. I mean, there's a few different games out there where you can boost yourself around. I mean, my main thing is Destiny, and well, you're constantly jumping or floating or whatever tightening does in Destiny. So that's probably going to be something I'm going to definitely be using.
I like maxing out my physical tree so I can get neuro strikes and just punch my way through combat.
And you know, if you're definitely up for that type of play style, that's definitely here for you. You know, you can go all out with being that space boxer, Rayon Eater type.
That one's a lot of fun.
Invest in the skills that suit your play style.
I'm very much a stealth player. So,
and you see too, even with shooting a character.
Combat.
Let's take a look at that.
That one's a lot of fun.
So when he was shooting the character in the leg, the character actually drops down on that leg that you're shooting. So recognizing, like when you're shooting an NPC, that it's that part of the character that you're shooting, that's huge. Dropping down on that knee and then taking that headshot, or being able to run up and do like a finishing move with a knife on them or something to that.
Invest in the skills that suit your playstyle.
I'm very much a stealth player. So, I'm out there pickpocketing everyone. My favorite part about being stealthy is slowly creeping through vents like you're in a movie and then jumping out and springing on people.
Whenever possible, I like to talk my way through situations.
This area's off limits. Fine, I'll issue you an access card.
I'm more of a run and gun player. I like doing the death from above thing where I boost pack over guys and I throw landmines at them.
Gotta go down! Move, move, move! You're gonna pay for that!
I like blowing stuff up.
Exploration is a key aspect of all our games. In Starfield, there are full star systems with new life, resources, and adventures. Our team worked hard to strike a balance between fun and realism. We studied data from NASA and a multitude of other sources to help us make the world feel believable.
What is said information they're studying from NASA to make things real? NASA been to planets that I don't know about?
From the way we approached planetary atmospheres to the way we placed biomes based on the planet's distance from the sun. Once we had created a grounded world, we could start looking at all the things that make that world fun. When you leave a planet and head into space, you'll be navigating asteroid fields, having chance meetings with interesting strangers, dogfighting in space, and exploring derelict ships.
This is also going to be something that's going to be really cool. Coming across something that's just floating in space on your way somewhere, and you can board it and see what's up inside. That's going to be really cool.
It's all out there. Ultimately, it's about rewarding your curiosity, because whether it's on the surface of a planet, the alleys of a city, or the vastness of space, you never know what you'll find.
Space exploration is possible thanks to your ship. Your ship is almost like having another character or home you can make all your own. I think you'll be blown away by the amount of stuff you can do. You can buy it.
And in saying that, how many hours are you going to spend customizing and purchasing? So as you can see up in the top right corner, your credits, how much you have, a vendor's credits, and different what things are going to cost. Like you said, you can interchange, upgrade the parts, add different things to your ship, as well as what you add to your ship. You can go in and explore what you just put in, or is it going to benefit your crew, or is it going to benefit exploration or engagement with another enemy?
Buy a ship.
I'm sure you can find something you like.
Customize and upgrade that ship, and hire a crew to keep it up and running. And it all starts in spaceports. Every spaceport has a ship technician where you can purchase, sell, and modify ships.
Anything I can help you with?
Maybe you start off with a speedy fighter that's perfect for bounty hunting. Then you might round out your ship roster with a hulking space freighter to run cargo missions, or even do a little smuggling. For now, though, we're going to take our starting ship, the Frontier, and make some changes. You can customize and upgrade everything.
Like you said, you can customize and upgrade everything. So literally top to bottom, left to right, middle and out is everything that you can upgrade in this. Engines, grav drive, reactors, landing gear. That is absolutely huge, the hours I'm going to spend.
Everything you see here. And you have two ways to do that. You can quickly upgrade individual systems like your weapons or shields, or you can deep dive and enter the shipbuilder mode. Here you can change anything from the systems to the look and layout. Adding a new habitat module can give you more room for crew. Adding cowling can change your ship's overall silhouette and improve.
And how many people are going to go for the Star Wars look, or try and come up with like a Millennium Falcon build? What builds are you guys going to go for, like right off the bat? Another thing to drop into the comments.
Improved grav drive allows for longer distance space jumps. You can even fully customize your paint job to get the exact look you want. The parts you choose to build with don't just affect your ship's stats. They'll also affect what you can do inside your ship. You can have modules for crafting or for storing and displaying your weapons. Starfield's in-game ship manufacturing.
And I like that they've taken that like from Skyrim. So like the stuff that you come across and you've collected, you can hang it up on the wall. You can have that room where you can go in and be like, oh, I got this trophy here, I can put it there. I got this helmet, I've got this other piece here. That is really going to be cool, and it was something that I really liked about building your own house in Skyrim.
Manufacturers bring their own look and feel to every piece of your ship. From living quarters to cargo holds, mess halls, and control rooms. Our modified Frontier is a practical ship, but with a little creativity, your ship can look like almost anything you want.
It's a bit odd, but one of my favorite ways of customizing ships is I make them look like animals. The HMS Platypus, as I called it, where it had a giant tail to it. And we've done spiders, we've done mechs. So it's really whatever your imagination is.
And while you can build your home among the stars the way you want to, you're probably not the only person who will call your ship home.
Ready to lift off when you are, Captain.
Engines ready.
The Frontier is fueled and ready, Captain.
Some of the members of Constellation can join you on your journey. These companions can serve on your crew, and they'll always be there when you travel.
We'll be traveling together until we either find an artifact or this lead runs dry.
Each companion comes with their own valuable skills for your ships and outposts, as well as unique quest lines. Eventually, some friendships might blossom into romance.
I don't know that I've ever really loved anyone except you.
And if you're looking...
Oh yeah, so of course you've got that romance avenue, but that adding those different traits to your ship is really going to benefit what you're going to be able to do, or what you're going to be able to assign them to help you with. Yeah.
Looking for a little extra help on your ship? You can always hire additional crew at spaceports.
Got any room on your ship for someone like me?
You'll also meet potential crew members.
Even like a ship full of mercenaries. Just be an absolute space pirate.
Out in the world.
Still think there might be a spot for me on your ship? I gotta get off this rock.
Assign crew to your ship or outposts, and their unique skills will affect how they run. And just like companions, most crew members can lend a hand in the field. Take Bosco, for instance.
He's designed around the core basics of a NASA machine.
It like this is going to be one of your main helper dudes in the game, and I mean, like it is a unique look, but he kind of just looks really clunky, you know.
Please avoid getting shot. You might die.
I still wanted to give it almost a humanoid personality, so I elongated the limbs. This tends to make him feel more human-like and give him a little personality.
It is a shame exploration requires so much bloodshed.
Using the shipbuilding tools and crew selection features in Starfield, you'll be able to build and captain the ship of your dreams. And now, let's take to the sky.
We're putting you in the cockpit of your very own spaceship.
So this was one that I was kind of wondering about. I mean, a lot of people are going to be, well, playing this on controller and PC. So I wonder for the PC players if there's any way that you could set up, like, on your chair, joysticks, right? You know? Like, to be able to fly your ship, like, have an actual joystick system. That would be pretty cool. I don't know if it's possible or not, but it is something that I have been wondering, and I think would just be absolutely dope.
And telling you that you can do pretty much anything. And that is really cool for us as developers. Spaceflight should be exciting and dangerous, and you should feel like you're in complete control every step of the way. We've extended that sense of control to ship combat. It's not about just hitting your triggers to fire your weapons. It's a complex dance between your piloting skills and our power allocation system. Boosting power to your engines will make your ship faster. Powering up the ground drives will shorten the amount of time it takes before you can make a jump. And moving your power to your weapons and shields means you're ready for a fight. You should always be on your toes because you're not alone out there.
So that really puts it in perspective of, like, if you're the Star Trek or Star Wars fan of, you know, all power to your shields or all power to weapons, all power to engines. That is really cool.
Unlocking the targeting control system skill will allow you to zero in on specific subsystems of the ship you target. After destroying an enemy ship, you can loot the remains from your cockpit. You can always turn any ship that engages you into scrap. But you can also take a more personal approach by docking with the enemy vessel and boarding their ship. Once you've taken control of an enemy ship, it's yours. Add it to your fleet and retrieve it at any.
So you can add other ships to your fleet. So that, can you put, I'm wondering if you could put, like, other crew on these ships and have them mining resources you know, while you're doing other things in the game. How big of a fleet can you have? Is there a limit? Can you rule everything? Everything is my fleet. Just give it to me all.
Spaceport. But space is way more than fighting for your life. Just like when you're planetside, there are plenty of sights to see and stops to make on the way to your next adventure. Like these massive star yards. Walk the halls, talk to the crew, maybe get talked into buying a whole new ship.
A civilian in my star yard. Let's see about getting you a proper ship, one worthy of you.
Is that Boba Fett?
Maybe you'll dock with a gigantic battleship like the UC Vigilance. Or rub elbows with the galaxy's wealthy elite on a cruise ship fit for the stars. There are plenty of personal encounters to be had as well. You can hail any ship you come across to trade, swap info, or maybe even commit an act of piracy.
Let's do this.
When I'm playing, I generally go crazy. I definitely go like the more piracy routes.
She goes crazy. She has some crazy eyes, doesn't she?
I'm gonna take over ships. I'm gonna board ships. I'm like, this is now mine. I steal all the sandwiches and put them, in my cargo hold that I have specifically for sandwiches. I don't want to play the hero, but I want to go out and just start taking things from people as quickly as possible.
Some strangers might be looking for a little human connection in the darkness of space.
Hello, stranger. I just finished cooking up some food. If you want to come on over, just pop on by.
Some of the best moments are the ones you discover on your own. The thing I love most about Starfield is that it is a Bethesda game through and through. It's really about going to strange new places, meeting interesting people, and getting sidetracked on zany adventures. Then realizing 2 hours later that you're involved in a completely new story.
You're human. We thought we were the only.
So how many other creatures, like they at the beginning they've mentioned you're looking for other sentient life in the galaxy. I mean, obviously we've seen that there's many other creatures, and you're walking in the door and she's saying you're human. Well, how many other species of sentient being has she met?
Only ones to leave Earth.
That DNA is so present here. It's in our random encounters, it's in our handcrafted quests, and it feels so cool to play it and just make your own path in this universe. There are over 1,000 planets out there, just waiting for you to visit. We want you to feel like explorers, breaking ground on new planets, exploring every inch of a mostly untouched galaxy. We want you to feel hopeful. We want you to feel this sense of awe and wonder, and sometimes a little fear.
I can't wait.
We're giving you a massive playground and a ton of toys, and just setting you free.
Hey everybody, we've shown you so much stuff, but we thought we'd just take a little break and show you something a little bit different. We put so much detail into our game worlds, and we love the opportunity to bring that into the real world with our collector's editions. And for this game, we've done a watch. It is the Constellation Explorer's Watch. This is the watch that you actually get in the game that acts as part of your HUD, where it's the compass and then environmental information. It connects.
This is pretty cool, and I did look into this collector's edition. You get the box; it's like $400. Comes with a watch, comes with a badge, and all that stuff. I looked into it, and I think it was all sold out. I was just like,
to your phone to give you notifications.
So is it a limited edition collector's? I'm going to say that.
And other information, and we've also designed this really cool case that it comes with, Istvan.
Yeah, we really took as much care and designed this case as we did the watch. Our attention to detail in the game totally translates to this. Inspired by the cases that the astronauts used during the Apollo era to bring back samples from the moon, It's got an intricate locking mechanism, authentic, heavy, comes with a Constellation patch, NATO strap, and the overall functionality and believability of this as something that would exist in the world, in the Starfield universe.
Oh, and hey, take this. You'll find it very useful out there, and it even tells the time.
We actually have something else. Now that we're part of Xbox, we get to work with the amazing people on the Xbox hardware team, and together we have created this custom limited edition Starfield controller. It's awesome. It is now, our favorite controller.
We love this because it's inspired by the actual controls of your spaceship. And not only that, we've created the first ever custom headset with Xbox, and this is a perfect pairing with that controller.
Control, this is Constellation Starship Frontier. Ready to start on your signal. Steady till ready. Coordinates input. Plotting jump course. Guidance has converged. Getting auxiliary reactor power. System checks are green across the board. Prepare for departure. Grav jump commencing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
In every one of our games, we always put so much care into all those little details that breathe life into our worlds. But Starfield isn't just a Bethesda Game Studios world, it's a Bethesda Game Studios galaxy. So why go this big with Starfield? Because we want to give you freedom on a galactic level. The freedom to experience both the exciting planets and the quiet ones. Scanning a planet before you land is a great way to get a sneak peek at the available resources you can use for crafting, building, and customizing.
I think what's cool about this whole system that we generate the planet itself as a procedural content, but the handcrafted content itself comes as the player explore. Our system builds the planet as the player approaches it. We stitch together a block of terrain. After that, we have the system that adds interesting locations for the player to explore, creatures to encounter, ore and plants to pick up. It allows us to add that touch of environmental storytelling that Bethesda is known for.
Aggressive creatures have been disrupting our experiments. Their habitat isn't far from here.
Of course, like almost everybody that you're able to talk with or interact with is going to have something for you to do, so it's one thing that I found about a lot of games is like, even when you're trying to do one quest, it puts you on your way. And like they've even mentioned previously, 3 hours later, 4 hours later, you end up doing a completely different quest. And it absolutely drives me because of OCD. Well, I want to finish the one quest before I start the other, and I don't want to keep on tacking on more and more and more and more missions, because then you to me, they can kind of get lost within each other, because like then you do the next one, then you end up with like 5 more missions, and then you do the next one, you end up with like 7 more missions. It's see how that goes.
If you could take care of them for us, we would be in your debt.
So even if your friends were to visit the same planet that you had, you would have a different story to tell.
Looking at like some of the gameplay shooting, it isn't it is a different play style of shooting. So we'll see how that, I don't want to say it could be a little bit clunky or clumsy we'll see how everything moves and the shooting and everything goes with the character's animation and whatnot.
It's completely up to you how you want to interact with each planet, whether you want to explore and see what you can find, harvest resources and be on your way, or simply take in the views. With the help of your scanner, you'll chart the uncharted and discover exotic wildlife.
If you have the skills, you can even figure out that certain creatures and plants, you can build an outpost and produce resources from those plants and animals. You can get experience and rewards for fully surveying planets and fully surveying a whole system.
And that's probably going to be like one of the first things that I do in here is figure out ways that the fastest ways, or the way to get to it the fastest, of collecting those resources and being able to generate a ongoing currency. So if I want to upgrade that ship or upgrade weapons or add crew members, I mean, I imagine if you got crew members, you're going to have to be able to pay them, or maybe you're just providing them a home and that's payment. You never really know, right? But that's probably going to be one of the biggest things for me right off the bat of getting in here, is finding that way to add those resources as quickly as I can to be able to build currency to have those funds.
When we were concepting these creatures, we really wanted to think of them as natural to the environment. We didn't want alien monsters, we wanted native wildlife.
We didn't want alien monsters, we wanted native wildlife. Looks pretty fucking alien to me.
Something you've never seen before. When it comes to our exteriors, when the sun moves, all that light is calculated in real time through the atmosphere. Our biggest goal for lighting with Starfield was to make the game feel more filmic, to use lighting and color to really make it feel more cinematic.
Cinematic in the way that they're saying it is just like how you're able to take in that environment around you. It's going to be absolutely astonishing to see, the planet you're on, how it's moving around the binary star in that system, or the moons that are orbiting that planet, and or does it have multiple stars, binary stars that it's orbiting around? That's going to be really cool.
After some exploring, you can find a spot to set up a base camp. Outposts can be built almost anywhere on any planet. And the habitat model...
And I love these, like, where you're able to like build your own base and customize things and add like security systems, whether it's obelisk towers, like other games, if you get my reference. But yes,
modules come in all shapes and sizes, filling all different purposes. You can even live in them. Assign crew and companions to work at your outposts for added bonuses, and set up extractors to harvest resources while you're away.
Something cool we have this time is we have a new fly cam where you can toggle between on-foot building, or you can now use a top-down isometric camera, which helps.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about, is being able to have this type of setup. like I said, the reference was Command and Conquer, right? So that was probably one of my first experiences as a kid, when you're building and strategizing how you want that base to be set up. And taking a look at this, you've got different structures that you can toggle through. On this one, you've got your outpost airlock, four-wall habitat, hydroponic habitat B, science habitat, military habitat, habitat round, small hex habitat, hallway industrial, and then once you have it built, you can go inside of it, which is dope. I can't wait.
Plan out larger parts of the outpost and placing those larger halves, so that way you can really plan your structures and what the overall feel of your outpost is. And then when you're on your feet, you can really decorate and fine-tune things much easier.
And that's like I've mentioned in Skyrim, being able to build your house and take it to that level of customization. And you still have that human feel, to what you're experiencing around you in almost every situation you're in, whether you're on your ship and it's that retro look, or, you're back on your base and you've customized it and added that furniture and pictures, decorations, or, stuff that you're collecting throughout the galaxy is really going to add to that. And even like they had mentioned before, you can collect plants or exotic fruits and stuff, and bring that back. And you never know, like they were showing in the different habitats, maybe you can have like a garden habitat. That's gonna be cool. And you can see, so more than likely your power at this station is these wind turbines out here. A terrarium habitat, I think is okay.
Add crafting and research stations in your outpost to utilize any resources you find or are.
And this is going to be a big one, is the crafting and like your pharmacology, food and drink, outpost development, being able to research all of that and upgrade or extend what you have for options in that customization, or availability of different things like the weaponry, like it's saying available projects, 19 available projects. So what are the resources that you're going to have to dedicate to research those projects?
Already have. Mod your weapons to adapt them to your playstyle. Different weapon sites.
And I absolutely love this. Mod your weapons to your own playstyle, different sites. Like I said, more than likely what you're doing is going to cost resources. So one of the main things is going to be finding the ways that you're going to get that ongoing resources, or, just being able to acquire them from other combatants or civilizations or whatever that are in the area.
It's in scopes, larger magazines, a selection of grips and barrels, different ammunition like explosive rounds. All you stealth players out there will surely need a suppressor. You can also choose to go hands-on with melee weapons.
I think it's always a delicate balance between like what's realistic, what's sim, and what's Hollywood. And I think we sort of err on the side of like what's fun for the player.
With Starfield, we've completely overhauled our combat. It's more dynamic, the animations are more fluid. It just feels great.
We probably have more mods and more weapons in this game than I want to say any other game we've done before. There's a lot of variety.
Upgraded gear is just one of the many factors to pay attention to when engaging in combat. You may need to switch things up based on your environment. Gravity is different for each planet, and boost packs are excellent for getting around. And for giving you an edge in combat. Sometimes you'll even feel like you're flying.
So depending on the gravity, I mean, when we looked, it's like 0.51 gravity. If Earth was your 100% gravity, then like being on a planet that's 0.51 is 51% of Earth's gravity. So you're definitely going to notice the difference planet to planet, or moon to moon, or asteroids if you can land on them, or different ships if they're the gravity drives. What is it called? Gravity recreation. Anyways, that thing.
Zero gravity environments pose a different challenge. Firing a ballistic weapon in zero G will actually push you backwards. Energy weapons, on the other hand, offer a more stable shooting experience.
We also have mag weapons. These are high-powered electromagnetic induction ballistic arrays. Each barrel has its own targeting laser and can dish out some serious damage. Whether you want to get up close and personal with your own two fists, or you like more compact weapons like pistols and submachine guns, or maybe you prefer something bigger.
Yeah, let's go.
Starfield's got you covered.
This is the point where you just have to take in that combat, that gameplay combat, and just be like, ooh, am I getting super stoked? Oh yeah. The one I did see weapons, like guns. You got knives. You got like an axe, machete type thing. I didn't see so much for swords. Do we get a laser sword? Can we get a laser sword? Come on, Bethesda, give me the Star Wars fantasy of having a laser sword. Can we have a laser sword? Telekinetic abilities. Yes. Am I living out my Star Wars fantasy in another game? I might be.
Thanks again for being with us today. We are just so grateful that you've taken the time and spent it here. I know there was probably a lot to take in. There's a lot to the...
He's thanking us for our time. Well, the game isn't even out, and I'm spending time on it already. It just goes to show you that the amount of my life I am going to put into this is going to be huge. Somebody is going to have to do checkups on people. Are you alive? You need to order a pizza. Don't forget to buy food. Don't forget to stay hydrated.
The game even more than we could show here. As we play it, we're always sharing these unique and special moments that only a game like this can bring. When I think about what makes it special, it really is the people here. This game is a reflection of the incredible and passionate team that made it. All of them putting something special of themselves into it. So let's hear some of their favorite moments.
I love the way that our final combination of all the new tech has come together to create some of the most beautiful sunsets and sunrises we've ever had in any of our games.
I love the creatures, the exploration, every biome is different. The word that comes to mind is vast.
I like to use our photo mode to take rock star photos.
This is also going to be something that I'm looking forward to, is this photo mode. And even as a content creator, having that ability in there and being able to take some of these pictures and post them, or make different thumbnails and everything out of them, to be able to show what you're doing or your creativity towards it, is going to be huge.
I just love that constant feel of discovery and wow, I can't believe that there's more here.
I'm most excited about our outpost building systems.
My favorite part is every time you step out on a planet, it's a unique experience.
You spend all this time building your ship and you see it on the landing pad. These things are gigantic. It's the kind of thing that you just can't get anywhere else.
There's something about seeing a tower over in the distance and going, I know the gravity's low here. I think I can make that jump.
My favorite part is biomes, spaceships,
audio design,
planets,
the day-night cycle.
Those details matter to me.
Diplomacy, exploration, freedom,
the ending.
Beskap, obviously.
I love the robot so much.
The incredible amount of worlds we created.
Sniper rifles, come on.
Lever action, rocket launcher.
Brain sprout. I laugh, but some people might find creepy. That's right, Ben.
The thing that I enjoy most about the game is the freedom to be who you want to be, do what you want to do. It's what you've come to expect from a Bethesda title, but on a much bigger scale.
On behalf of all of us, we can't wait for you to play Starfield and make your own special moments.
Main engines go. Good luck, Constellation. You are go for launch.
And that is that. So literally, like I said, I mean, I've been waiting for this to come out for well over a decade, that I've been trying to keep track of it in the background, seeing how they're progressing. And I mean, I know it was supposed to be released a very long time ago, but it is also one of those games that I'm glad they've waited for technology to advance, and them being able to manipulate things with that technology to improve the game in a way that is able to improve the experience of the player. That's probably the biggest outtake out of this that I'm going to say, is the quality of experience for the player. You know, it is still going to be one of those things that you're going to have glitches, or you're not going to be able to do certain things. There's going to be constant updates. It's a game. It is what it is. And, you know, I know there's going to be all kinds of different rhetoric and stuff like that's going to come out with it. But the experience is still going to be there, and it's going to be nonetheless one of the best adventures. I say that you're going to be able to go on and experience. I am definitely looking forward to it. Everybody, if you haven't done so already, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, jump in there with those comments, because I want to see what you guys have taken out of this as well, or what some of your guys' comments are, and be able to interact with the subscribers or the people out there that are commenting on it and waiting for this. Have you guys purchased so you can get in? I think it's like up to 5 days early. Have you purchased that back to the deluxe edition or whatever it's called? God knows I have, because I just want in it now, and now isn't now. So anyways, you guys, thank you very much for watching. Until we get into this, I can't wait. Later.